Okay, let's see if that's any better. See if that's any better. Nope. In fact, I have 0 frames right now. Oh wait, no, there we go. Now it's up. Let's see if it stays that way. Everybody cross your fingers. Nobody say anything bad about the internet lest it hears us and gets offended. Whew.
All right.
I think we might be in relative good shape.
Okay.
I say
Awesome.
that.
The percentage.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's not one thing. First time an hour late. Now this and God.
Well, that was kind of my fault.
I
just blame myself for that.
I do think you said it, and what probably happened was kind of a number of things. So for those who don't know, this is a special edition, late night edition of Super Chat 64, wherein we started an hour late because Alex is a piece of shit and can't remember.
Alex
and can't remember when Justin says, "Hey motherfucker, I'm gonna be out of town, so check yourself before you Shrek yourself."
Justin gets a message saying, "Hey man, I'm outside your house and your car isn't here."
I'm a little concerned.
I was like, "Uh-oh."
And you were like, "Phone call." So what happened was that so last week I had every intention of doing the stream because I was going to motherfucking MagFest, but didn't leave until Wednesday. So we're like, "Hey, no problem." And we were planning on streaming. Dexter, what are you doing over there, man? Come here, Dexter. Causing all sorts of trouble, jeez. But I was like, yeah, no problem. I leave Wednesday, so we'll be able to stream on Tuesday. But on Tuesday, I had to take Dexter to my dad's place. I had to pack. I had to finish up a couple projects. There's a whole bunch of shit I needed to do. Do stuff at work. So I was like, fuck, I'm sorry. We'll have to cancel for Tuesday. And then as a quick, and Justin was like, okay, that's fine, but I'll be out of town. And I was like, I'll remember that. And what happened is that when Justin said out of town, my brain said, Alex, MagFest is in a few days. And just, so here we are. So now you know what the inside of my mind looks and smells like. That is
beautiful.
That is a proper noise.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's beautiful. I'm assuming you had a very excellent time at
Holy shit, dude. Motherfucking MagFest.
I saw you got your cartridge signed.
I did. One moment, actually.
Yes. Oh, why must people hack? I don't know, K-Bear. I wish I did. People are typically just sacks of shit, so that's typically why people suck. I've never actually been hacked before. I mean, I tried to sell my WoW account once, and then I got hacked, but
oh man.
Other than that, no.
As a quick aside, so K-Bear was talking about, I think she had said that she had some technical issues that debug it.
Yeah, so she had an issue with the computer, she got it up, and then she said her Steam account got hacked, and she got that fixed. But then all the files were corrupt afterwards, so she had to reinstall all the games.
God, that's...
Yes.
That does
no, Chimpanzee EDC is not. I'm in the hotel. I never typically bring an external. I just use Amanda's laptop, which is the HP True Vision HD camera. I don't fucking know. No, but yeah, this is not the new one. But tonight would have been the night we would have used the new one had I been home. It's only a month in the making, Eric. I'll only have the camera for almost a full month before we fucking actually. God damn, if I could talk, actually use it on the stream.
He has to fully limber up the webcam before we bust it out for the stream because
you don't want
the webcam to pull a muscle. You want to make sure that it's fully refreshed, fully stretched out before commencing coitus.
I'm glad that they didn't steal any of your games, Care Bear.
Yeah, that could have been awful.
I don't even think that's possible unless you had a bunch sitting in your inventory that could have been sent off.
Yeah, I think it'd be less stealing games and more like stealing like game content, like I don't know, the tradable stuff.
Right, the tradable things. That's what I'm thinking.
Inventory, yeah. Or worse, I mean, where they just steal the whole goddamn account, and that's you know the absolute worst case scenario. So yeah, I'm glad to hear it's mostly resolved, but yeah, having to reinstall everything. Did you lose save files, K-Bear? I hope not, because that too
that would be horrid.
For certain games, it wouldn't be so bad because a lot of games utilize the Steam Cloud, but others, not so
I
much.
wish fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 used Steam Cloud because I've reinstalled it 3 times now. You know, just because I needed to free up space.
I don't know what that's like at all. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then I started up again, and I'm like, okay. And then it's like, hey, start a new game. I fucking hate it so much. I'm like, God damn it. So 1 game down, 3 to go.
Okay.
Awesome.
What 3 games are they, K-Bear? If you don't mind me asking. I'm just being nosy. That's what I do. But holy shit!
Yes.
Motherfucking Grant Kirkhope! Yeah. Motherfucking
That's
Grant
so
Kirkhope.
awesome.
Sign that shit. He is an extraordinarily cool person. It's just like when I met Charles Martinet, the voice actor who.
For some reason, thought you were about to say Charles Manson.
When I met Charles Manson, he is such a cool dude as he cut my face off and ate it in front of me. What a nice fellow. He was so polite as he ate a baby burrito. Just rolled it right up. It's fucking weird, but he was really nice about it.
Yeah, he was super nice.
Yeah, no.
So the guy was awesome.
Yeah, Grant Kirkhope was super nice, and like I said, it's just like when I met Charles Martinet, where Charles Martinet does the voice of Mario and Luigi and Wario and pretty much every freaking Mario character ever.
Right.
And was like a super nice guy. And Grant Kirkhope was equally like just a really like super chill and like happy to be there dude. And when you think about like especially a game like Banjo-Kazooie, which is like the epitome of N64, PlayStation 1 era platformer, full of charm and wonder and just like everything is so happy and positive, and like you pick up a health item for the first time and the health item talks to you and says, "Hey man, I'm a honeycomb. I replace your health. Be sure to watch out for enemies when you defeat them so you can pick me up." And they've got little eyes and everything is so adorable and cutesy, and it's just such a charming little game.
Banjo-Kazooie,
so much personality.
I fucking loved that game as a kid.
God.
So
I love it as a grown-ass man.
I do too. I never owned the game, but I did rent it for like 3 weeks in a row and beat it. So
yeah,
the struggle was real.
The struggle, yeah, I understand all too well. That's how I was with Beetle Adventure Racing. How's that for a throwback? How's that for a name drop?
Jesus.
Yeah, feels good, man. But
I feel like you're the only person who's ever played Beetle Adventure.
We are a few but proud. I am one of not many.
Oh, jeez.
How's the stream looking, by the way, guys? I'm showing no drop frames on my end, so I think we're okay. But I want to ask just to be sure, just to make sure everything's copacetic. But yeah, Grant.
Yeah, I paused mine. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, no, Grant Kirkhope, such a nice guy. He gave a Q&A before I met him. He just did a Q&A where it was a pretty packed room because he's a big goddamn deal. For those who don't know, he composed all the music for Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Tooie. There's another big one that he did. There's a couple of them. He didn't do all the rare games. He didn't do Conker's Bad Fur Day, or like Blast Corps, or I think those were David Wise. I would have to double check, but Rare had a couple of composers. He wasn't the only one, but he was my favorite. And yeah, I knew he was going to be at MagFest, and I was super excited to meet him, or to try and meet him at least. But even just to attend his Q&A, he, of course, just most of it was just answering questions. He gave a brief background, just talked about the stuff that he worked on previously and what he's working on now. One of the most recent games that he worked on was Civilization Beyond Earth. He did the soundtrack for that game, as well as Kingdoms of Amalur, which I know that you're familiar with. Yes. So primo stuff.
I love that game.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's working on the soundtrack for Yooka-Laylee, which is a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, which I am uncomfortably excited for, as you would be surprised to know.
Yes. But you're not. You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Always. No, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. But at least I hope it's awesome. The soundtrack, if nothing else, will probably be pretty sweet. But yeah, he gave a Q&A. It was very candid and very, very just happy-go-lucky with his responses. At one point, some of the audience asked why most of his songs, at least in the case of the Banjo-Kazooie era in that time, were in mostly C major, in some cases C minor. And for those that don't know, C major means that there's no accidentals, no sharps or flats. It's just all if you look at the keyboard, it's all white keys, none of the black keys.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, you caught me. That just goes to show how shit I am when it comes to playing the keyboard, because he was originally a guitarist when he first signed up to be a composer, and then when he got to the studio, he was like, oh shit, I have to write stuff on a keyboard. All right, well, white keys it is, because black keys are hard, man. And it's like he was just so candid and so like,
well, it fucking worked out.
Fuck it, YOLO. I'm motherfucking Grant Kirkhope.
No
and,
shit.
And yeah, it works. It works out because like it doesn't fucking need that shit. But yeah, it was just one of those moments where he's like, I don't fucking care. I'll tell it how it is, man. And he's just very like I said, very candid and very personable and very like very humorous about everything and talked about how when he was starting out in shortly after he had graduated, he was actually in a couple of like British rock band. Like he's originally from Britain. He himself is British, but he was like covering a bunch of like British new wave rock, like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, stuff like that, and in some of the bands that he played in. Because like I said, he was a guitarist, and kind of stumbled into composing just kind of on a lark, just kind of on a whim, and ended up really enjoying it and took a job at Rare, and of course the rest is history. But then you listen to a game like Banjo-Kazooie and you'd have no idea, but then you go listen to a game soundtrack like GoldenEye, which is pretty much completely rock and roll, that it's like, oh, well damn, I can totally see the influence there.
Yep.
But yeah, it was awesome, and so his panel was just really fun and really happy-go-lucky, and the audience was really receptive. I mean, it was just really positive all around. And then he had a signing later that day, later that evening actually, which conflicted with another thing that I was going to attend. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about the Red Supre guys, but they also were there.
Oh, okay.
And so I was gonna have to make a choice. And at first I was like, well, if I get in line really early for Grant Kirkhope, I can then jet over to the Red Supre panel and make that one. And I was like, it's gonna be tricky to do. But as he was leaving, he was like, he just stood by the door and just met people and signed people's
That's
stuff
so
there.
Awesome.
And like we so was like, all right, cool. So we formed a line kind of outside where the panel room was held, and just motherfucking Grant Kirkhope. I do what I want, man. And he's just like, yeah, man, I've got a signing later today. So it worked out really well for me, and I actually got to meet the guy, and of course thanked him for all the music and thanked him for coming to MagFest. I actually didn't know this, but he used to come to MagFest on a fairly frequent basis because he used to live in Baltimore, which is of course much closer.
Oh yeah, just right there.
Yeah. So he
Where
now
is
lives in LA.
what town was MagFest in?
It's called National Harbor, Maryland, which is technically in, and if you look it up on like, if you like to type in the Google, like the zip code in like the Weather Channel website or something like that, it'll show as Oxford Hill. So I'm not exactly sure which one it is. It's one of those two. For all intents and purposes, it's Washington D.C. because it's like a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I've actually passed through it many times.
Okay, yeah, you probably have. It's so close to Reagan National Airport. It's DCA, whatever you call it.
Wow, that's the easiest shit to get to ever.
Isn't it though? God, I love it. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, meeting like one of my heroes, not just childhood heroes, but like modern day heroes, was fantastic. And like I said with Charles Martinet, like to meet the guy and like to see that he's like just cool as hell and super fan friendly and really easy to talk to and humorous. It's you see a guy that writes all this happy, positive music, and man, it wouldn't have been shit if he would have been like fucking kids like coming to my panel like it's like get out of my way, I'm getting my hotel room, I'm sitting there forever. And I saw him multiple times throughout the rest of the festival, so he wasn't just held up in his hotel room. He was doing stuff with fans and talking to people and just being a cool motherfucker. Oh, Grant motherfucking Kirkhope. Holy shit. So everyone go out there and buy every game he's ever written music for. Give him all of the money. Buy all of his soundtracks. Coolest motherfucker ever. Viva Pinata. That was the other big one that I was trying to think of. Viva Pinata was the other like big game that he composed for on the Xbox. I think it was on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
And he actually said that those were his favorite games to compose, or those were some of his favorite tunes that he had created in those soundtracks. So yeah, getting to meet the guy was awesome. Holy shit. I've been talking a lot. Justin, what have you been up to, man?
Nothing much really. Just traveling. For the majority. I mean, nothing is anywhere remotely as cool as MagFest. Absolutely not. Hands down, nothing even comes close. But I did start Shovel Knight. So that was something I started the other day. Absolutely fucking loving that game. It's very fun. I've never played any type. I was telling you earlier, I've never played any type of Mega Man or any type of real actual side scroller. Besides like Pitfall when I was like, I don't know, like 9.
Yeah.
And that was like hard mode. That was called just fucking get demolished over and over. Yeah. And it was just an abusive relationship with the Sega Genesis. So, but other than that, it was this game is so good. It is. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I'm not very far in. I'm still trying to 100% Persona 4 Golden, and this fucking guide, whoever made this guide, I'm going to fucking rip their nutsack off. There's a specific point, so like every day you have to do a certain amount of things each day,
Okay.
right? So it's like a day basis. Well, at one point of time, this guy fucked up, and he's behind technically on a day, with this certain vendor who has these certain goods, right?
Okay.
So he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this vendor has this and this available today," and then I'll go there and he has something completely different, and I'm just like.
I'm helping.
So, like, now I'm forced to go there every day, like, to this vendor to physically see what they have, and I'm just like, okay, I'm so sick of fucking going to this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I need the shit that he has, because some of it has, or this chick has, because she sells seedlings, and I have to plant certain crops on certain days. So, it is a fucking nightmare right
Struggle.
now. But I am going to get through it. I am guessing I'm around halfway through the 100%. So, yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been up to. And WoW, of course. WoW.
No,
Just,
no.
that's an ongoing, just straight up
yeah.
obsession.
That's a
so.
given. Yeah.
But yeah,
just
so
saw the,
it's been a fun couple weeks.
Mhm. I just saw the messages from K Bear saying that
Yes.
she's doing constant backups. Oh, Daisy, Gary's Mod, and Don't Starve. Oh man, all CS Source. I'm all about
She's
all
got
those things.
essentials.
God dang.
Hashtag essentials.
Yeah, it's like a Steam awesome Steam game starter pack. It's,
right. That ain't no shit.
it's just a really cool collection of games. Yeah, excellent choices all around, K Bear. And
Yes.
yeah, they would take a while to install, especially CS Source and DayZ.
No
man.
joke.
You're tiny but mine. I should start using that line. That'll make me feel better about myself.
Yes. You are tiny, but you are mighty.
Almighty. Ah, dude.
So yeah, we've had an eventful couple past weeks. Then.
We have.
So, well, I've had a decent eventful one.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a just overly eventful.
Dude, it's a motherfucking MagFest. Like, this might have been my favorite one so far out of the three I've been to. This might be my top one.
Was Mega Ran there?
He was. He did so many shows and so many songs on so many stages. So he did a kind of surprise mini show with Professor Shy Guy. And the story behind that was that he was originally going to be performing on Friday night. And it was like, okay, cool. But then there was some sort of issue with K Murdoch, his DJ, who was I think he might have his flight might have gotten delayed or something like that because he wasn't going to show up until Saturday. So they were like, okay, well, no problem. We'll just do like a little mini set, kind of impromptu thing with Professor Shy Guy. And then Mega Ran's main show will get moved to Saturday. We'll just move some things around, and it worked out pretty well. So he did a show Friday, a show Saturday. He did a show at the Mega Manathon. And for those who don't know, the Mega Manathon is a annual thing that usually happens at MagFest. It has the past 2 years at least, where as the name would imply, it is a Mega Man themed marathon, video game marathon, not unlike Extra Life, where and it is with the intention of raising money for charity as well. So some similar overlap there. Where people will play through I think the idea was to play through most of the major console games. So of course the NES games, Super Nintendo, PlayStation games. As far as I know, they've played just about every Mega Man game I'd ever heard of. And some of them were speedruns, other times were just casual, trying to be fast, but mostly casual runs. But they were supplemented with live performances by various artists, including Mega Man, of course, and Professor Shy Guy, and Samus, and Ben Briggs, and a whole bunch of other D&D sluggers, a whole bunch of acts. So there was never a shortage of things to do and see, which is always par for the course in MagFest. I'm sure I've described it in the past, but there are always things along those lines where they have the main stage, where they have the main mega advertised things this artist is going to be performing on this main stage, blah blah blah. It's a big thing, and the main stage can seat 5,000 people. So it's those are the big shows. But there's always a smorgasbord of other concerts and shows and things to attend.
That was good terminology.
I like to think so. So this year specifically, because what they always have is a jam space, and the jam space is that at the beginning of the day they have a piece of paper just stuck in the wall with lines written on it. You can with times hour long time slots. And you can just show up and be like, all right, me and my band are going to perform on this. Just write your name.
That is fucking
There's no
awesome.
vetting process. There's no reservation. It's just, all right, just first come, first serve, sign up. You got a time slot. You're good.
Okay.
So what usually happens is that a lot of artists will apply to do a main stage show. Few of them will actually get it. Some because they aren't big enough, or others because they performed previous years and they want to keep a revolving want to
Right.
keep it fresh. So, the artists who don't make the cut will be like, no probs. I'll just do a Jam Space show or something similar. And usually they'll bring their entire band, or at least a minimized version of it. And they've got a sound system in there. They've got monitors. They've got everything else. So I mean, it's just a fairly small stage and a fairly small room. But that's where some of the more fun and intimate performances come from. Excuse me one sec. We have a visitor. So
Hello, Dexter.
what's up, Dexter Dog? Dexter the dog, Mag Dog. But yeah, so yeah, there's always the Jam Space every year, and some of my
Okay.
favorite shows have been at the Jam Space because, like I said, it's a much smaller room, and because it's much smaller, you're able to get much closer to the artists. And a lot of people have said that the Jam Space shows feel more this is what the old timers refer to as they feel like more like Magfest. They feel more like the old days where it was much more scrapped together and it was in a much smaller hotel and it was it was an absolute party. I mean, there was crowd surfing, there were drunken shenanigans.
Okay.
There were sound that they'd pack so many people in and they'd pump the music so loud it would blow up the sound system, like shit like that would just happen.
Amazing.
And it happens
That's
at Jam
amazing.
Space. So that's where, like, if you want like a really authentic Magfest classic experience, a lot of times it happens in the Jam Space. But this year especially, there was that throughout the entire weekend. But then there was the Mega Manathon, which had a revolving door of artists that were coming through. They had
Right.
for the first time ever, they had what they referred to as the Magfest Underground, which was in a separate,
Okay.
but sort of linked part of the hotel that had a whole bunch of other artists, some of which had performed the previous year or had performed in other years as well, or some were side projects of artists that had been performing with their main bands, but they wanted to bring their side show as well.
Okay.
And kind of similar, much smaller room, much simpler sound system, much more people packed into a much tinier space, and it was much more of a free for all in that sense. Like I said, lots of crowd surfing, lots of stuff that if you were to pull that shit in the concert hall, security would come in and yank your ass out. But
Right.
in these smaller, more secluded areas, you're able to get a taste of what it used to be like back in the old days when it was still a fairly new convention.
It sounds like I would love to see like the main stage, but it sounds like almost an even better time to be at these little smaller events that are kind of going on.
Yeah.
Especially to not only to find new people, like
Yeah.
to find new music, but also just for the environment. That just
Yeah.
sounds fucking awesome.
That's probably what I like the most about Magfest. Honestly, is I of course love the music. I love the spectacle because it's
Yes.
and by the way they did hit over 20,000 unique visitors, and that includes staff and guests and
Shit.
everything else.
Well, I
But,
saw
yeah.
I saw that Mega Ran had his street pass going, and what the picture showed, I think he had like 100 or so at the time,
Mm-hmm.
like just passing by, and I was like, oh my god! And I think I can't remember the number he said he ended up with, but I know it was fucking retarded.
Yeah. When you go to places like Magfest, what happens is that if you turn your 3DS on, blimp, 10 people, your queue is full. Okay, shit. Let me just empty my queue. Nope. And it's constantly like you're constantly having to churn through it. You could just sit there and do nothing but play on the 3DS, and you would
That
not
would
get
be
through all your
fucking
street passes.
heaven for
It's
Amanda.
wonderful. It's wonderful. That's how I have. I think I have close to 2,000 street passes, and it's
My
exclusively,
God.
and I don't spend a whole lot of time going through them. But when it just going there for 3 years in a row, it adds up.
Right.
But it's just like you said. One of the biggest things I like about it is the communal aspect of it, because when you go, especially when you go to the smaller shows, when you go to the bigger ones, like I said, in some cases it's a very packed room and it's a very large room and it can
Right.
seat 5,000 people. I've been in there when they've had to shut the doors and say, all right, we can't fit any more assholes in here, and it's fucking crazy. I think the only time that happened was for Power Glove last year, and that was probably the rowdiest concert I'd ever been to in general. I don't know if you've ever heard of Power Glove, but they are a mostly instrumental.
Please tell me they play
Power
with
metal.
the Power Glove.
It's so bad. They, I think there might be. I think the drummer might have like a power glove or something like that while he's playing. They've been around for years. They've been around for over 10 years actually, and they're like one of the OG Magfest type of bands. But
Okay.
it's all power metal, and it's all like it always whips the crowd into a frenzy. There were so many
Jesus,
circle
I
pits,
bet.
and for a
Was there a
5'3"
sacrificial
asshole like
fucking
me,
goat in the middle?
no, but like the drummer had when he walked out on stage had like there's no like really good way to describe it other than you know how like in Warcraft the orcs like have these flags that stick up that like hang off their backs like for like the really big warriors. He had two of those fuckers like he looked like a war machine. He looked so cool, but yeah.
So he had like a fucking tribal war flag on his back?
two of them. Yeah, yeah. It was cool as hell. He took them
I
off once
want
he
this-
started playing.
I need
But
this fucking harness.
It
Whatever
was
he
cool
was
as hell.
using to have this, I want this.
Yeah, I have no idea how he did it. I was too far back to really catch a glimpse. I just saw these flags following him around, like what the hell. But yeah, Power Glove was a terrifying band to see live because not because of the band, but because of the audience. There were some times where security had like some genuine concerns for valid reasons.
Jesus.
But,
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
can see-
So yeah, like I said, the big concert shows, like the main concert hall shows, are super fun, and that's where you go to see like the top, like the pinnacle of what Magfest has to offer. But when you go to the side rooms, so the Jam Space shows, or Mag Underground, or the Mega Manathon, that's where you get up close and personal. That's when you get to see you get to be right there with the artist,
Right.
and usually with fairly minimal security. Not because they don't care about it, just because I mean, in these smaller cases, and there's really not a whole lot to watch. I mean, usually it's pretty chill.
So you're saying
But,
if I wanted to stab one of these artists, it would be best
That'd
that
be
I do it.
best in a nice secluded jam space, and the dank of night when nobody is there to witness. But
K-Bear, thank you for saying you are your favorite stream.
oh goodness,
Much appreciated.
you're too good to us.
I know.
K-Bear.
She's so precious.
Goodness gracious.
But yeah, continue.
But yeah, no, it was just like you said, where like you find that the bands that, or at least the experiences that are more meaningful typically are the ones where you can like immediately talk to the band members afterwards, or it's easier to have conversations with audience members. And one thing you'll start to find is that the community of performers is so tight knit, where everyone kind of knows each other. You'll go to a show and you look to the left of you and holy shit, that's Dan McCann. That's the guy. I just saw him perform with Metroid Mail the other day, and holy shit, there's Roberto Floss just standing in the crowd, just chilling out. And hey, there's Megaran over there. Everyone's there to participate. It's not so much that like the artists are there to perform. They're mostly there to party with you and to join in on the fun and to participate because they're fans just as much as you are.
Right.
Slowbeef from Red Super mentioned this was the first time that the Red Super guys had been to Magfest, and Slowbeef observed that Magfest isn't so much a festival as it is a celebration. It's like a nerdy music Mardi Gras, and I thought that was
that's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, I thought so, and for a number of reasons. Not just because that when you go through the hallways, there's always music playing, whether it be just music that you're hearing from the concert hall, or maybe there's a DJ who just set up shop in a hallway. You can do that, by the way. You can just set up shop anywhere to like play music.
That's awesome.
As long as it's not like where people are sleeping, you can just set up a sign, sell merch.
Were you in
everything.
fucking heaven?
I guess as you might tell, I enjoy Magfest a little bit. It's one of my favorite times of the year.
I want to go so bad. No joke.
it's-
I really want to go.
It's where hopes and dreams.
I might end up going
happen.
with you next year.
I mean, I do know that one of the buddies with whom I went to Magfest said he might not be able to make it next year. So it depends. It depends on what his work schedule's like and everything else.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, always looking for people to join me. I am absolutely going next year. Made up my mind within hours of being there on day 0. But
Day zero.
yeah.
Day zero has begun.
Yeah. One of my favorite things was going to. I think I've subjected you in the chat as well to Super Soul Brothers, And
Yes,
they
I
did,
love them.
Yes, and they did so many shows. They didn't have a main stage show, but they did at least 3 or 4 Jam Space shows.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
And and of those 3 or 4 Jam Space shows, at least 2 of them went into the wee hours of the night. These are some of the hardest working guys in the business. Where like they would start at midnight and go to like 4 a.m. taking audience
Oh my
requests.
God.
Taking
I
audience
know, yeah, 'cause
requests.
I noticed that sometimes, like, you would be posting on Facebook around, I don't know, 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting up for work, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, Alex posted 2 hours ago, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And it was probably at a Super Soul Bros show. And yeah, and not only are they taking audience requests for songs that they've done, they're taking audience requests for songs that they've never played, songs they've never even heard, like games they've never played, and just
That's
coming
just
up with it on the spot.
That's great.
Their
I like
keyboardist,
artists that can do that.
yeah, it's astounding, and their keyboardist in particular was so good at just coming up with shit off the top, just kind of more or less off the top, just pulling arrangements out of nowhere, out of thin air. He actually performed with the One-Ups. I don't know if I've ever shown you the One-Ups
Yes,
before.
of course you have, Alex. Of course you have. They're on my follow list
Yes.
on fucking Bandcamp, you
Love
asshole.
it. Yes, good. Good. Oh, right in the very... You had these neighbors this one time.
Oh,
Is that
Yes.
Tyler? Is that Tyler?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Tyler.
I didn't recognize
Yep.
his screen name. Yes.
he, that was the sacrificial goat in the parking lot.
The
Police showed up, taped it off.
Tyler, you'll be happy to know I've like told that I've forwarded that story in verbal form to other friends and stuff, and they all agreed that it's fucked up, but it's also hilarious. So you know.
That had to be one of the most memorable experiences
God.
ever.
It-
Also, Tyler has the worst shit happen to him no matter what. Like, he is a fucking just a beacon of just weird shit.
it just draws to him.
Yes.
A magnet.
Oh,
Jeez.
God.
That's crazy. But anyways, yes. So the One-Ups were played at MagFest, and it was awesome.
Straight out of Stephen
It was
King.
Dude, that kind of is though. That is
Yeah.
some Stephen King shit right there. God dang. But yeah, so anyway, I told the Super Soul Bros story in the One-Ups because the One-Ups were playing, but their keyboardist had a death in the family fairly unexpectedly. He couldn't make it, so they were like,
Oh.
"Oh shit, well we're playing main stage and we cannot cancel. We just had an album come out. Well, actually, it wasn't out yet. It came out at MagFest, so like we have to play this show, but we need a keyboardist." And they picked Robbie from Super Soul Brothers to play, but he only had 2 hours to rehearse, and he fucking nailed it. It was like the way he played, the way he soloed, the way he improved, you would have thought he was there from day one. But
That is fucking awesome.
But like they called him, they gave him a shout out during the show. It was like, by the way, this guy that we're playing keyboards with, he's from another band, and we met him 2 hours ago, and he's playing with us like he's been here forever. So he's a fucking beast, and he's like. He's what I like to refer to as like an actual honest to goodness musician who knows his shit,
Yes.
works at his craft, probably practices and does this professionally. It was impressive to say the least.
Yeah, I watch a lot of,
man.
I would say, Kyle Landry on
Yeah,
Twitch now.
Yeah,
And I had followed him before on YouTube and was kind of looking at his stuff back when he used to do a lot of Kingdom Hearts
Yes.
remixes and stuff. So that dude plays nonstop all fucking day, and you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
you can definitely see it, like, in the way that he is able to do things.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's
also
crazy.
Mr. Or Pro Piano Man.
Yes.
Dude, that dude is just absolutely insane with what he can come up
Yeah.
with. Like, on the fly, like, he can listen to just the beginning of a fucking song, and he's like, yeah, I know this.
Yep.
Yep,
Boop,
we're
it
good.
just like it's like
just
they've been
does
doing
it.
it all their life. Yeah.
God, he's so awesome.
Some people just have a just a knack for it,
Yeah.
and those are the people that you want to murder them and eat their soul so you can gain their powers.
Yeah, yes, so I can gain their abilities.
You can consume their essence. Oh man, there were so many. If I'm not careful, I'm just gonna end up railroading us into like a
I'm
Alex
sure.
talks about Magfest for the next million hours.
That's what the fucking show should be called now.
That's what I should have titled it. Speaking of titles, I don't think I ever changed the number on the title, so it probably still says the old one.
Don't worry.
So well, I will update it
We'll
for the YouTube video.
we'll find out.
But
Well, our fucking YouTube one is off from this one anyways. I'm not really sure, but
probably I haven't uploaded in a while. I need to.
I haven't either.
I need to do just a big push. I keep meaning to do that, but fucking Magfest kind of fucked up my schedule for that.
Right? No, totally. It's
Oh
okay.
man, there was but there were a couple more things I'd like to mention.
Sure.
Austin Wintory, who is an impeccably just really cool dude, who also composes music. he composed music for a little game called Journey for the PS3
Ooh.
that has kind of had something of a cult following. Yeah, a lot of people is like it's one of those like have you ever played Journey, by the way?
I have not.
Okay.
But I have been wanting to play.
Yes, it's one. Oh, yes. Then thank you for the Bandcamp link. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin Wintory composed the music for Journey and Banner Saga, and there's another one. There's a
Banner
third
Saga.
one. Banner Saga. Yeah. That's right. You played Banner Saga. There's a third one.
I love that game. God,
Yes.
that game's so good.
There's a third game he composed with whom like for which he
Let
composed.
me look
and I
at his
can't remember what it
Bandcamp.
is.
Hold on.
Yeah. Pull up his Bandcamp. But
Let's see. Well, apparently he did Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
oh, I
Banner
didn't.
Saga,
know that.
Journey,
Mhm. Stop believing.
Flow,
That wasn't there's another one I was thinking of. I don't know.
Monaco.
Monaco, that's it. Yes, Monaco. Yes,
Okay.
I love that game. But yeah, so he composed all the music for Journey, and it's a wonderful, wonderful game. It's one of those games where there's no written dialogue or anything like that. So that you have to. It's all based on how things are presented to you and the emotions of the music and how it's conveyed to you. It's all very open to interpretation in that sense. And there's also online multiplayer, but it's not. But it's all kind of. It's all just kind of concurrent, where you'll be walking along and you'll see just another person there, and again it's all nonverbal. You can't like type to each other. You can just all right. Well, let's continue our journey together, and it's all very
yes.
I love that shit. So anyway, so he started a Kickstarter called Journey Live, where he would bring in a full band of musicians, or by band I mean orchestra of musicians, who would play the soundtrack to the game live while they pick people out of the audience to play the game right there in front of them. So if they fuck up, or if they have to go back, or if they take a weird route, then the musicians got up. All right, we're going down this way instead. We're playing this theme. And they debuted it at MagFest. The Kickstarter, by the way, was a huge success to nobody's surprise.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're touring the country. Sadly, no St. Louis stops, but I think I saw they're hitting up. I think Chicago, maybe Kansas City. Hopefully, it'll keep going and eventually come to St. Louis. The show was phenomenal. I've never played Journey. I had heard a little bit of the music before, but had never dived into it quite as much as I would have liked. As you might have guessed, I liked it a little bit because I bought the goddamn soundtrack at the show.
Are you gonna buy the game?
I mean, when I get a PS, well, I do actually.
Oh
I do have
I forgot.
yeah.
It's not on PC, is it?
Right? Yeah, it's PS3.
It's only an exclusive,
It's
right?
an
It's exclusive
exclusive,
to PS3 and PS4.
I think 4. Yeah, I think it's also available for PS4.
It is, yeah.
But and I would absolutely love to play it. But the show is phenomenal. The soundtrack is not like a lot of soundtracks in that there's a lot of ambiance. There's a lot of periods of where there isn't much of a soundtrack, honestly, and it's just you just have the background noise and whatever character noise of like the person's footsteps in the sand as they walk through. The character, that is. So but that kind of added to the feel of it, and it was in the main concert hall, and it was
That's awesome.
hugely packed. The estimates were that there were about 3,000 people in that room, and everybody was sitting down on the floor. It was pretty beautiful, actually.
So everyone's just enjoying it
Yeah,
at that point.
everyone was there. The audience was completely silent the whole way through, no interruptions, with the exception of like uproarious applause when something cool would happen.
Right.
And Austin Wintory, the composer, gave a brief like, hey, how's it going? My name's Austin. Here's the thing. Beforehand, but it was really heartfelt, and you could tell that he was a little nervous about it. He's like, we've never done this before. This is our first performance, but the community's been really amazing. Thank you all for coming out here. This is way more of a reception we were expecting. His description of why this game and although he didn't develop the game, he composed all the music for it. Why it means so much to him, how it has helped so many people that he knows, and how fans have written to him about how much music means to them as well. So he strikes me as the kind of guy where he's just as psyched to be there as the rest of the audience is.
Right.
So he was it was a very emotional concert. And it's a very emotional game, and you could see it in the audience. It was awesome. So that was wonderful. If anyone's watching happens to live near a city where Journey Live is stopping by, please go to it. It was wonderful, and I'm sure it will be equally wonderful when you see it. God, it was great.
That's awesome.
And then I promise this will be my last MagFest story.
Sure. No, go ahead.
This one is much smaller in scale, but it goes to show what a cool community this is. where so I follow a lot of musicians and a lot of artists in the VGM OC Remix community, or whatever you want to call it, video game community, music community. And there's one artist in particular named Lauren the Flute. Her name is not actually Lauren the Flute, but that is her
Oh, that
name.
would be awesome
Because
if it was.
she is a flautist, and a really damn good one. She's also an opera singer and
Oh.
and a keyboardist. She's just an overall super talented human being.
Okay.
And I'd seen her at Magfest before, and I'd seen her at a couple of other similar events, but never got a chance to meet her. But there was one concert that I attended for a band called Disco Cactus, who I would describe them as like if Frank Zappa, instead of being really into politics, was really into video games. This is what it would have sounded like, and it was wonderful. It was probably my second favorite performance of the entire freaking Magfest.
What was your number one?
It would be Super Smash Opera, which was an opera. Like,
I
an
heard
honest to
very good
God,
things about that.
Yes, it's like it wasn't like a couple of musicians and a couple of shit. No, it was an actual honest to goodness opera with phenomenal vocal performances and hilarious writing and pretty damn good acting. Like, surprisingly good acting.
Okay.
A full I would call it a symphony, a full symphony of musicians.
Jesus.
All from like the Magfest community, YouTube,
Right.
VGM remix. It was so good. I wish I had brought like roses so I could have thrown them at the stage, like at the end of the show, like an opera. It was it was so fucking good. But I'm gonna tell the story because I'm gonna keep getting distracted. Oh man, it was so cool. So anyway, so I saw Disco Cactus and the concert wrapped up. I was like, God damn, that was good. And then I turned around. There's Lauren. I was like, holy shit, you're Lauren the Flute. I'm a huge fan of your work. You're pretty cool. And she's like, oh shit, that's cool. It's weird for me to meet people that know who I am because I just do this thing on the internet. So sorry if I appear weird. I was like, nah, don't worry about it. And she knew some people in the band that had just played. And we all kind of like just get into and we're all just chatting. It's like, hey, you guys did a good show. Holy shit, that was cool. And Lauren and them kept talking, so I was like, oh, I don't want to harsh their buzz, so I'm gonna get going. So I hop out of the concert hall and I think I like hit up the merch booth. I think I picked up like a CD or two, and I started going the opposite direction. And I passed Lauren going the opposite way. It's like, oh hey, it's nice meeting you. She's like, oh yeah, thanks for chatting. And so I keep walking, and I hear footsteps coming up, and I turn around, and she ran back. She's like, by the way, do I know you? I was like, no, you don't, but I go to Magfest all the time, and I like I said, I'm a huge fan of your work, and I try to check out your Twitch channel when I can. And she's like, dude, you're fucking cool. Would you like a cookie? And she opens up a little Tupperware thing, and she's got this bowl of cookies. I was like, you were like the patron saint of Magfest. You're the patron saint of Magfest joy. She's like, yeah, whenever I make a new friend or something like that, I just that's what I do. I give people cookies.
That is awesome.
And she gave me a little button as well. It struck me. It was like, holy shit, what there are people in this universe that are this nice, and not only are they in this universe, but they're on this planet, and sometimes you get to meet them, and they turn out to be really fucking cool. God, it just struck me as like that's just such a small little gesture like that, but it goes to show how awesome this community is.
Yeah.
And I talked to a couple other people that knew, and I was like, oh yeah, because they noticed that I was wearing the buttons. Like, oh yeah, you met Lauren. I was like, dude, she was so nice, and they were like, yeah, that's how she is literally all the time. That's just her. It's not like an act. That's just what people around here do. It's like, holy shit, man. So it's so
very good.
So if you enjoy awesome music and you enjoy a fun Twitch stream done by a person who is a tremendously cool and generous human being, go check out Lauren the Flute. Holy crap, she's like the nicest person ever. And if you meet her in person, there's a chance she might offer you a cookie, and it will be delicious. God damn, every once in a while, I'll just be like, God damn it, that's such a nice thing. Just those little gestures go such a long way.
Right.
So, and she's earned a fan for life. So that's when you're an artist. I mean, you need to establish connections, and what a great way to do it. And there we go. There's the link as well. Holy shit, I talked a lot about everything.
You almost filled the entire stream.
I almost did.
I will say,
I didn't want to.
You were so close. You're 10 minutes off.
I honestly didn't want to. Honestly, fuck man, Magfest is so cool.
Oh, that's all right, man.
I'm still in the throes of post Mag depression.
Yes.
I've been telling my coworkers that if you hear an abnormal amount of sobbing and wailing in my cube, abnormal meaning more than the usual amount of wailing and sobbing, then you'll know why. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. God damn it, it was so cool. I don't know if it was my favorite yet. It's, all 3 years have been just very distinct. They've all been very different from each other and all been super wonderful. Best fucking community ever. God damn it.
I actually found where a picture she posted 4 hours ago, where she has a jar of cookies.
Yes.
Or a box of cookies.
Yeah.
She's
the
giving
Tupperware container. They were fucking delicious,
Yes.
by the way. Yeah, she was dressed as a character from Undertale. I don't know. I haven't played Undertale yet, so I don't know.
I need to play Undertale. I feel
Yeah.
like I need to play that game.
Dude, Undertale was on point at Magfest, by the way. Everybody was in costume. Not everybody, but most everybody.
Really?
Was it? Yeah, there were a lot of Undertale costumes, lots of Undertale music covers. That, like, most bands did at least one Undertale song. It was...
I will say that the guy who programmed Undertale is a fucking just mastermind.
Yes. Yes, he absolutely is. Oh, man. Holy shit. Motherfucking Magfest, dude.
How do you feel? How do you feel right now?
Is it Magfest 2017 yet? In fact, I think there's a website for that. Hold on. I think there's a little... Is
There ain't no fucking
Magfest?
way. I wanted to thank the chat for joining in on Super Chat 64 Magfest edition.
Alex gushes about Magfest.
Yes, that should be our title.
And that's totally an actual website, by the way.
Is it? Oh my god. Holy fucking shit, it is. And it says no. It literally just says
It's got the logo, and that's it. That's all you get. Oh, shit.
That's
beautiful. It was so wonderful.
I love the simple things of the internet.
I do too. and gotta enjoy it. So yeah, it was a wonderful time. I'm as bummed as I am that it's over. It's like but it was so good while it lasted, and it's always a whirlwind. It always flies by because there's so much to do, so much to see, so many panels you wanted to go to, and so many friends you want to meet up with. There were friends that I'd reconnected with whom I met last year that I got to really like actually hang out with this year. That was fun. God. Fucking Magfest, dude. Best fucking community in the whole goddamn internet. Love it. Oh, jeez. Tears. Tears forever.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Justin, for letting
Actually,
me indulge.
I've been waiting to hear about it. So I haven't really. I purposely haven't been asking any questions because I wanted you to just belt it out to me. And I wanted it to be fresh.
Just have it just barf it all out at once.
Like, I mean, I messaged you like saying how jelly I was about random shit. You know? I'm like, man, that fucking cartridge, that's so awesome, you know, like. And I was telling Amanda, I was like, dude, Alex got his like Banjo-Kazooie cartridge fucking signed by the guy who made the music, and she was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was like, that's beyond cool. This is beyond
It's
cool.
not just cool, damn it.
Right.
You
Like,
need to appreciate Greg
this is
Kirkhope.
fucking awesome. I was like, god damn it.
You need to appreciate Greg Kirkhope and all he's done for the music community. That's awesome. No, it was absolutely wonderful. Oh man, and it was packed. I know that they sold out of Saturday passes, so I mean
When did you end up leaving?
We left. Our flight out was at 12:10 on Sunday, so yeah. I think I got home around 1:40, 1:50 or so.
Was it a direct flight back home?
Yes, yeah, direct flights.
Yeah,
all
those are
the
always
way.
the best.
The best way to travel if you can swing it.
Yeah, when I flew into Washington D.C. a couple times, they were all direct flights. So like they were just. It was so wonderful when you can just leave and then 2 hours later you're somewhere. You know, like you're just like, okay, I'm halfway across the country.
Yep, exactly. It's so much nicer. And in the case of going from the East Coast and heading west, you travel back in time by an hour, so you feel like, I was on the plane for an hour and a half, and
it was great. When Amanda and I went to California, when we landed, it was technically only an hour later.
Right.
And it was like, so we had left at like 5, and then when we landed, it was like 6:30.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And Amanda was like, okay, well, I feel tired, though.
And
then yes, we'll feel that way. So, yeah, the way back fucking blew. We left, first off, we got delayed, and then when we finally left, it was like 8 o'clock there, and then we got in at 2 a.m. here, and it was a direct flight.
God.
Yeah.
That's awful. But it makes sense, unfortunately.
Yeah.
God dang. Yeah.
So
turning a 3-hour flight into a 5-hour excursion somehow. And it being delayed though, that's what can you do, right? It's not a damn thing.
So as for next week, for everyone who's listening, we have quite a bit of topics left over. So we've both Alex has put it quite a bit onto the list, but I've put a few as well. And next week we're definitely going to hit them up hardcore. We have some goodies to talk about. So we got so the Steam VR. We got not possible. It's definitely Left 4 Dead 3 data that has been data mined.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which has been confirmed. It actually was with the Steam VR demo.
Oh,
so
okay.
the Steam VR demo came out and it actually had secret files into it. So because Steam VR demo is the first piece of software from Valve, other than Dota 2, that uses Source 2.0.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So it's the first time we're actually seeing it. But it had Left 4 Dead 3 data, and then it also just may have one piece of Half-Life 3 data that had been data. But we will talk about it next week.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely.
What a tease.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know either of those, actually.
No?
I did not. I had heard something about there being like stuff that people were mining, but I hadn't heard that they had found like actual evidence of Left 4 Dead 3.
They have definitely found Left 4 Dead 3 and more than one thing. Like definitely way more than one thing. So it's a very good possibility that Left 4 Dead 3 is indeed going to make it well before Half-Life 3. So
which I would be okay with.
It's almost a guarantee at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember a while back that there were some pretty good signs, like based on the stuff that they were posting about, like there was like a PowerPoint presentation or something like that had like it was like labeled Left 4 Dead 3, but like not officially. So it was one of those things where it's like, ooh, is that like actual Left 4 Dead 3, or is that just like concept art or something like that? But there were murmurs about
yes. So the Steam VR demo came out, I guess, 2 months ago, or it had been about 2 months ago, back in December.
Okay.
It came out for just a select few people, though. It wasn't public.
Yeah.
And these people were data mining it then, and they had kind of found this data then, but just, I think, yesterday, we got the Steam VR demo for everybody. So basically what it is it's to test your machine to see if you can handle virtual reality for Steam's Vive, so for Valve's Vive.
Is your computer a bad enough dude?
Right. So, and then from that, they started data mining more, and then they were able to pick up a bunch of textures and a bunch of item names, and one specifically a fucking folder named Left 4 Dead 3. So, I mean, it's literally, so yeah.
And also there was one that was called Left4Dead.exe. I don't know what that means, but or Left4Dead3.exe.
Right. But
knows
the
what
good
that
news is that the new Left 4 Dead is going to be using Source 2.0. So I mean, that's always good news.
Yes, it's very good news. That to me.
And with a new
good.
engine, always comes a new Half-Life. So I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
That's what I keep praying.
We all pray
to the Gabe Newell.
To the Gabe Newell.
The Gabe Newell.
To the Gaben.
The Gaben. Our Lord and Savior.
But yeah, and then I saw you put on there as well. Sega and Sony are producing a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Everything's fine.
Everything.
This is fine.
I'm wondering how that's going to turn out. I'm sure it's
everything's fine, Justin. Don't worry. I'm completely okay with the events that are currently unfolding. As my face just melts.
Oh, it just starts deteriorating. And then I see you took up 2 lines for MagFest.
I would never do. Yeah, I would have done that. Yeah. I was a little excited.
I could see that. I like the and then it just continues.
It just keeps on the next line, yeah.
Almost endless.
We can actually mark that as a complete topic.
Yeah, that is actually complete. It's done. What a developer person company would like to see take on an established game series. Yeah, so we got plenty of stuff for next week. So please come back.
Don't leave us.
But don't leave us. No. Thank you for telling me all about MagFest.
Thank you for indulging me. Thank you everyone else for putting up with my
It was everything that I wanted to hear, because I just want to know how awesome it is, so that hopefully next year, whenever I get to go, whenever it is.
Yeah. It'll happen.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Already. I'm going to listen to fucking Bandcamp for the rest of the goddamn night.
Yeah, I only bought a couple of CDs, Kappa. So, you know.
Only a couple.
Only
when you were like, I went out to the merch booth and picked up a couple CDs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I counted them out. I think I bought 13 albums while I was there.
13 fucking
13
albums?
discs,
oh my god.
I would have bought more too, but I was concerned about space in my backpack. Oh, actually, and I actually did buy a couple other cool things too. I'll show them. I'll show them next week's stream. But I bought two
Okay.
pint glasses. One with the Triforce and one with Majora's Mask on it. So like that also took up space in my backpack. Things like things like that where it's like I have to like they need to be cushioned because it's glass.
Well, you
so,
just needed to buy a new bag.
A MagFest branded bag. Don't you tempt me, Justin. you know how fragile
That
my heart is.
Magfest bag was looking pretty good.
Oh man, sadly there were no Magfest bags.
Oh,
Actually,
that's
that's not true. There was a mag, but it was one of those like what's a good word for it? It's like a shoulder strap bag that like fastens at the top and it's all it's hard to really describe. Like you see them on college campuses a lot. They don't actually hold a lot of storage space, but they're really small.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like
How do
a
you
sports.
describe that? Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it. I think you know what I'm talking about. They were selling those. Did not buy one, but yeah, there. I guess second there was. So yeah, I guess that was one thing. But then we were on the fly to only get one carry on. So yeah. Senpai, I'll be there.
All right.
The senpai thing is a guaranteed.
Yes.
It's like a make Alex laugh button is to like say.
That's right.
Senpai.
All right.
Or, yeah.
Yes, K-Bear-chan. We will be back next week, and it'll be all it will be all super delightful.
Oh man.
But thanks everybody for coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really not coming out. I mean, you're just kind of sitting in front of a computer. But thank you for logging
tuning
into
in.
the interwebs, coming into the internets, coming to the Super Chat 64 Twitch channel, and yeah, I hope to see you all next week when we divulge into some juicy topics.
And it'll be actually on time.
Yeah,
More or
we
less.
should be on time next week.
Actually on time. Alex will remember this time.
Alex knows this time.
He learned his lesson.
I think I'll send a reminder as well.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, because you will still be out of town. When will you be forever in town again, as opposed to coming back for the weekend?
It'll be after next week. So
After next week, okay.
Yeah, I should be back.
So that following Tuesday, we'll be back at your place.
Yes, we'll be back at my place.
Cool beans. All right, well, we'll do the Skype thing again next week. With our goofy like outline thing that we've kind of got going on.
Don't even worry about that.
I look at it, I'm just like, we could do better, but yeah, fuck it, YOLO.
So,
Senpai notice.
scroll up, chat. I sent a paragraph. Oh, if I ever met you guys, I don't think I'd be able to talk to. Wait, I don't think I'd be able to talk. One, people scare me.
That's
and you guys
understandable,
look
actually.
up to-
Yeah.
You look up to us. That's an amazing feat.
Oh my goodness,
That's
gosh,
a delightful feat. Thank you, K-Bear.
that's super
You
nice.
are officially K-Bear-chan.
Oh man, yeah. Caber, that is
If
super nice.
If I could fucking make a little note on your name, I would change it. But anyways, thanks all, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah. Thank you, K-Bear. Thank you, Shabot. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler was
Eric,
in. We
yeah.
got Eric. Yep, we had
Whole
quite a bit.
Happy crew. All right.
Oh yes.
See you happy folks next week.
See you guys.